That's quite some door, all right.
We'll find the Renis Alma and the Red Woman inside, right?
After everything we've been through to get...
We'll probably be...
Go for it, Alf.
This is it, guys.
Volron! He really was still alive.
And there's the Renis Alma. Then, is this another spirit channeling ceremony?
Wait, though. Something doesn't seem right here.
Once more, the powers must be united. Born from the fires of chaos, the world does seek its rightful state. All must be sacrificed in the heart of Rena, at the shrine of the true sovereign.
What has happened to him? He's lost himself, reduced to a mere cog in the machine.
Hey, look! Over there!
Isn't that the Maiden's crest?
Can it be that this entire chamber is meant to act as a substitute for the Maiden?
It looks like it's still running, but... Are we already too late to stop the ceremony?
If that's what caused Lenegis' transformation, then the purpose of the ceremony must have been to drain all the astral energy out of Dana.
But for what purpose? What could possibly need astral energy on that sort of scale?
I don't know. But whatever it is, I'll bet it's connected to those visions of oblivion. Regardless, we cannot stand by and let them steal Dana's energy. That said, we should retrieve the Renis Alma. Because right now, we need that most of all.
He's not gonna lunge at us out of nowhere, right?
Not the time, Law.
Alvin, look!
The Red Woman! So we finally found you. I have a lot of questions for you.
Wait!
What?
They all have the same face? How is that even possible? What is this?
Who the hell are they?
It can't be. Are they even people?
It's hard to know for sure, but I think they're the true rulers of Rena.
They're not feeling... particularly talkative.
It's no use, Alvin. If we don't fight, we may as well be sitting ducks here.
Good point. Let's stop them before this gets out of hand.
Armor won't save you!
Freezing storm!
Soaring
Inferno turret! Dragon War! All stopped up! Annihilate! Mega Ray! Annihilate!
No further!
A wailing dance with the lightning!
Not today!
Now! Law! Get toasty!
Burn strike! Reflect!
Spread!
Surrender! Fighting is useless now!
Do you think it's really over?
Astral energy. Watch out! They've got something up their sleeve!
What?
It's self-destructed?
Alvin!
I'm okay. Just a little roughed up.
You had me worried there.
Who said you could touch that?
Damn it! He's awake!
I should have thought as much.
So you know this place?
Naturally, it was built for me, after all. We'll save that for another time. More pressing is how I'm going to tear you apart.
Even after all this time, you still insist on hating me?
You cut me down. Sovereign or not, you will pay for that.
You're obviously bluffing. You can't even move right now.
Really, is that what you think? Did you really think that such a petty device could hold me?
Are you going to claim it's because you're a ruler? Be it sovereigns or lords. In the end, they're all titles given by someone else.
Plus, what kind of ruler would spend all his time chasing Alf? Who happens to be another sovereign?
Idle prattle. I proved my worth and the Sovereign's powers were granted to me.
Were they really? We already know the title of Sovereign doesn't denote royalty. It is but an overblown codename for those with a designated part to play in these proceedings. You mentioned before that you were not the only one stolen from Dana, correct?
Yeah. There were countless. And every one of them besides me died.
All of those failed experiments, and they still kept going back to Dana. There must have been some vital reason their subject had to specifically be a Danan. Then there were the records we found in the library, for you and Volron. They were logged 300 years apart, and yet the data they took from you was exactly the same. Which leads us to a single conclusion.
Then you mean Voron was kidnapped just like Alphen? But then he became a...
A slave from Dana. Just like us. Isn't that right, Volron?
So he posed as a Renan and caused all that suffering to his own people?
How could you? If you knew the pain of being a slave, why would you inflict that upon others?
Renan and Danan are meaningless distinctions. Me and everyone else. That is all that matters. I will stand above all others and take what is rightfully mine, starting with this.
A red woman?
Another one?
Give your master back on Rena this message. No one makes a fool of me. Let them know I'll make them suffer.
Don't do it!
Serenus Alma!
It's too late. You can't stay here.
We need to go. Alphen!
be your shadow no matter where you try to run.
Let's go.
Never forget, I am the one who devours everything. Who answers to neither spirit nor man. My word is law. I am.
Are you two okay?
Yeah,
Is Volron...
we can but hope.
Those red women.
Could they be the ones behind all this?
What? Though?
Whatever's stolen from the future's ours to protect. We can head them off at Rena.
Did you say Rena?
Volron mentioned a master of theirs holed up in the motherland somewhere.
If that monstrous form's their true identity.
Yeah. There's a...
So this thing over on Rena.
They have the Renaissance in their grasp already.
Then we're agreed.
But seriously, I was not expecting Volron to actually be here.
He seemed to care not one whit about Renans or Danans.
Yeah, and not in a good way like with us.
They really...
That's no ordinary enemy I see over there. What the?
The lights are all out.
Doe?
You two.
Faria,
Avakir felt she doesn't remember. He told me about Tarnigan too.
what difference does...
Stop casting...
Faria, not now.
So I can see.
It's the city's core reactor. It's down.
You're an elite technician, though.
If so,
Panic's begun to set in among... But this time, not so much as a peep.
Forget the Sovereign.
What's that supposed to mean?
Suffice it to say, the Sovereign isn't the kind of ruler we thought he was. That is, if he ever even existed.
Are you out of your mind?
There's no time to explain now.
We need to stop that riot.
But how do we do that?
Riots feed on discontent and unrest, right?
At ease. That's it. Who's the highest-ranking person in Lenegus right now?
Lenegus wouldn't have a next in line. After all, you said the Sovereign rules over everyone directly, right?
Correct. Avakir, you mentioned a few facilities were still online. Which ones?
Why hasn't the Sovereign said anything?
Please, won't somebody explain what's going on?
Is it over? What's going to happen to all of us?
Heed me now, fellow Renans of Lenegus. It is I, Lord Dohalim Ilkaris of Eldamen and Sia.
Look, up there! It's Lord Dohalim!
Hold on! He should be in the crown contest! Shouldn't he? Why isn't the Sovereign talking to us?
The Sovereign is seeing to other matters right now. In my capacity as Lord, I speak to you in his stead. You're afraid, as people so often are when faced with the unknown. I hope you'll allow me to put your fears to rest. The city's core reactor has experienced a malfunction. However, we have our top engineers attending to the matter, and things will soon be back to normal. I know that you feel abandoned, perhaps more scared and alone than ever before. But I ask you all to keep one thing in mind. You are Lenegus, not the Lords and Sovereign. The solidarity of its citizens is the mortar that holds it together. If we don't allow ourselves to be distracted by our differences, if we put our hearts and minds together and stand as one, I am confident we will find new hope. I would be honored to stand with you. Not as a person of loftier rank, but as another human being among many. I hope that you'll lend me your strength, for if we can persevere as one, I know a bright tomorrow awaits.
Your speech seems to have done the trick. Looks like the city won't be descending into chaos after all.
I only pray the relief will tide the city over for the time being.
What you said earlier.
It's...
But
I can believe it.
what about hierarchy?
I'd say we found...
You?
I have business I must take care of, but not as your sovereign.
But...
I'm not sure yet. One in which people won't be judged by birthright. Things like...
When I bumped into you, I feel like...
You go finish whatever it is you've got.
Thank you.
I guess you're not going to make it to Menancia for the foreseeable future, huh?
Indeed.
The people of Menancia can look after themselves just fine. Besides...
Sounds like you're in it for the...
How could I not be? From this day forth, though the memories of the...
Remember, you're going to be leading the...
True enough.
With or without her. We should be heading back to the ship. Business. Looks like the people of Lenegus can rest easy.
I couldn't have done it without your words of encouragement, Law.
Hey, you're the one who made the speech.
I think everybody can share the credit here.
Have you guys checked your...
thought we'd find answers on Lenegus, but we just ended up finding more questions.
You can say that again. And now we have more problems to fix, too. Like figuring out how to reform Lenegus.
That can wait for now.
Yeah.
All the answers we've been looking for are on that. The answers have to be there.
So, what do we...
We know nothing about the Renan homeworld or what we might face once we arrive. We should get a feel for how things are on the ground before we take any serious steps.
It's also entirely possible that the first thing we're going to face is an attack.
If we come across a capital, we should... What? Damn! The hell just happened?
Our course has been altered. The coordinates are pointing to a different destination.
What's that?
The ship's controls aren't accepting my commands. The engine is being shut down.
That's bad.
Quite bad.
Is all of this the Red Women's doing?
Are they trying to finish us off before we can land?
Everyone! Look there!
A flower blooming out of Rena?
But that flower looks like it's absorbing all of Dana's energy.
And it appears Lenegus is serving as a conduit for that energy to reach here. Could that have been its true purpose all along?
If that's true, do you think the people back on Lenegus are all right?
We can only pray that they are.
Damn it! Haven't they taken enough already? When is this going to end?
The Flower of Oblivion.
With everything that's happening, we need...
Unfortunately, yes.
Can you fix it?
Starships are extremely complex machines.
So what?
I don't believe this. We're watching Dana die before our eyes.
Look, calm down!
Right.
It's still too early to give...
Alphen.
Now what?
The starship, it's back.
No, this is different. Something is pulling our ship in towards it.
We managed to get moving, but where are we?
It looks like Lenegis in here.
Do you think we might run into more remnants here?
Perhaps.
We haven't been ambushed.
Hey!
If they wanted to attack us, they could have...
I still can't get over what we saw happening outside the starship.
Yeah.
I've only ever seen Rena from the surface of Dana. Still, though,
Beats me.
Rena and Dana. But to think that they lied to us, not only about the Sovereign and the crown contest.
Dohalim.
Okay, who's the wise guy that summoned us here?
Someone formidable enough to bring our starship along with us.
They must be here somewhere. Let's find them.
This place looks a lot like that room we saw back in the Forbidden Zone.
Huh? What's that?
A red woman in disguise.
so it was a trap?
It doesn't look like it can move. Tell me, are you the one who brought us here?
That is correct. It is unusual for me to have unexpected guests these days.
It can talk.
What are you?
Hevrect 35.
Hevrect 35.
Correct.
What is this place?
Before I answer, I have a question for you.
We did not come to this place by choice.
In that case, we can assume my brethren who serve the Great Spirit have deemed you all to be a threat most grave.
What do you mean, serve? Are you saying there really is someone more powerful than the Red Women, pulling their strings?
What did you do to us?
I examined your bodies. Identifiers detected. The Sovereign and Maiden are among you. However...
Oh, goody. More...
Do you think we can trust this thing?
Like it or not.
I shall now answer your questions. We are Helgenquil. The Red Women you encountered previously are a form of disguise we employ from time to time, but not our true form.
Helgenquil?
You are on Dake Phasol, a celestial base which drifted here by accident. The will of Rena's Great Spirit no longer reaches us here. Since my sudden separation from the Great Spirit's influence, I have used any and all means to extend my lifespan. As I have done so, I have also set out to monitor and research Rena and Dana from this position.
A question. What is this Great Spirit of which you speak?
Correct. The Great Astral Spirit is a large mass of astral energy that fills all of Rena, one with its own will, a voice we cannot refuse.
A voice? Just like Dana.
The voice of the Great Spirit speaks to our hearts directly, and
Does that mean it was controlling your minds?
The true ruler of Rena.
Wait, back up. You're telling us this great spirit of yours is the one that ordered you things to harvest the astral energy from... I'm not sure I believe that.
Why not?
Maybe not, but...
Dana's will hasn't been forcing us to do anything.
Yeah, but...
Let's assume that what Hevrect 35 claims is true, and that even if we had previously been under the control of Dana's will...
Your fear is not based in logic. The voice of Dana is much smaller and quieter compared to that of Rena's Great Spirit. Rena's astral energy is amassed at its center, whereas so thinly is that energy spread that it cannot coalesce and formulate a will.
Which explains why we felt its will where we did.
The Great Spirit's desire is to consume all astral energy. As a result, it has...
Is that why the crown contest is necessary?
Indeed. And it was to that end that we Helganquil devised the crown contest. Had the initial spirit channeling from 300 years ago succeeded, all of Dana's astral energy would have been seized.
But the ceremony failed. Lenegis was severely damaged, and you lost both the Sovereign and the Renasalma.
Correct. A change in plan was required to ensure the spirit channeling's success. That is why we turned to Dana.
So that was the real purpose behind the crown contest.
This is all happening because of me.
Nevertheless, you still haven't answered one of Alphen's original questions.
First, it was to confirm the identities of you, my unexpected visitors.
A request? But
I wish for you all to slay the Great Spirit.
I'm sorry, did you just ask us to kill your master?
I did.
What makes you say that?
Lenegis has entered the final stage of the spirit channeling plan. As we speak, if nothing is done about the Great Spirit.
You're saying the destruction we saw earlier is just the beginning?
We won't let that happen.
Why do you want us to kill the Great Spirit so...
No. My primary concern is validating our findings and analysis, which as such, it is my desire to see how your actions impact and change these systems.
Vengeance?
In spite of our long service to the Great Spirit.
You mean?
At this stage, it would be wise for you to talk with the others. Ask them what you need to know. Once you have your answer, return to me. If you...
Others?
I am the only Helganquil who inhabits Dake Faisal.
Hey! Hey!
It's no use. I think it's done talking to us. Let's take a look around.
You can't seriously be buying anything that creature told us, right?
To be honest...
At the very least. That being said...
The spirit of Rena wants to see Dana completely destroyed.
But why?
It doesn't matter.
Right.
There is one other thing that concerns me. How the Great Spirit, the Helganquil, and the...
Now that you mention it...
Maybe it had a reason for keeping its silence. Let's find out. Who are they?
What?
Oh, my apologies. It's just been so long since I've seen any humans from the outside world.
Are you a Renan?
The Overseer told us to answer any questions you might... But be quick. Our subjects are undergoing a dramatic shift that we don't want to miss.
What a weird guy.
He must have meant Hevrect 35 when he mentioned that...
And what was that about subjects?
There isn't anyone else we can talk to around here.
Have you guys lived up here in Dake Faisal?
Yes. We regularly go into...
Why are you all...
Originally, this station was where we worked to perform maintenance on Lenegis from the...
We heard that the facility ended up in its...
Oh, it was terrible.
And you've been working for Hevrect 35...
Well, at first we thought that there was nobody else inside the...
What do you mean?
The Helganquil have the...
As long as they don't do anything off...
Which would explain why Shion and...
I haven't been able to
In addition, they all... It's a pretty sophisticated operation. I have to imagine that's how Lenegis...
But aren't the Helganquil themselves controlled by the Great Spirit?
The Great Spirit's mind control only works on Helganquil.
You act like this didn't affect you personally.
I mean, sure.
Hevrect 35 has clearly ceased concealing.
Who can say? My guess...
Don't you want to go?
No way.
After all this time,
Things are going just fine with... Not that it'll...
That said...
Thank you for answering. Can we talk to you for a few...
Sure.
Please, tell us...
You mean the Overseer's...
Well, for start...
Where else?
From Rena?
Of course not. There's really no such thing as Renans in the first place.
Excuse me?
Oh, I thought the Overseer explained everything.
Apparently not.
Please, tell us more.
Well, in a nutshell, the Renans were originally created from Danans by the Helganquil.
But if that's true...
And there aren't. But there are Helganquil.
But what need could they possibly have to create a whole new race of...
It was a way to bolster their dwindling workforce. In essence, we were created to carry on their work for the group. They gathered Danans. That's why we, as...
Let me get this straight.
Wait, that explains why.
Helganquil technology is truly amazing. They have these tiny machines that...
Enough! You needn't tell us anymore.
How can you speak so calmly?
I guess I can see how when viewed. But if you ask me, if it meant their hands anyway, the Helganquil are the real Renans. They're also mostly the ones behind what you see going on between the...
I see.
Does he really expect us to believe that Renans never truly existed? How absurd.
Dohalim.
Just when I think we're getting to the bottom of it all.
Then let's hope this is our last revelation for a while. Do you know anything about a spirit?
If you mean the first plan from 300 years ago, then yes.
Yes. It was to use Lenegis.
Exactly. The second,
I take it this...
we have a winner. For the next plan, to amend that.
And the crown contest.
Correct. A new sovereign had to be. It was such tremendously difficult work. Its success was due.
So that's what the purpose of that room we found.
What about the flower that's...
Flower? Oh, that thing. That's the physical man. As I'm sure you've known.
Heverick 35 mentioned that...
It is. Are we done talking now? If it's all the same.
He talks like the...
You've got to remember that the...
It feels like our whole world has been turned upside down.
Seriously.
Let's take a moment to gather us. I know all of this is...
Agreed.
Everything that's happened.
And to get that energy, then the Helganquil...
Plus...
Either way, why don't we all take some time to think...
That's a good idea. If the Renan great... Because it's not just... So let's go ahead and... Sure you don't want...
I could ask you this...
I figured I'd get on...
I'll go along with you.
Sounds good.
Everyone's just gone their own way, huh?
Yeah. Let's hit up each spot.